Well, the deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history happened in Las Vegas more than 6 years ago. A man shot at 22,000 concert goers from the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Resort. It left 58 people dead and almost 700 injured. Today, we continue to have important conversations about incidents like this to gain insight into the invisible wounds that survivors carry. And as we learn how to better help shooting survivors there. And one of those contributors of the new book, Emily Cantrell, is joining us this morning to share her experience and talk to us more about the situation that happened. Now, you're a survivor.
Yes.
And we're glad you're here today, and we're sorry that you had to go through something as traumatic like this, but talk about how this experience has helped you firsthand in dealing with important issues and these conversations with people who may not have experienced this kind of horror and terror.
Sure. So, I mean, I spent the first almost 10 years of my career working in TV news. Right. So I have written so many stories about violence and gun violence in particular. And I think as a society, we tend to wait until we are personally affected by something or someone who we know and love is affected by something before we start to take action. And I am guilty of that in this case. It took me until I was in the middle of what would become our deadliest mass shooting here in the country to start taking action.
Yeah. Well, talk to us about what you have contributed, what you've put forth in a book, in an essay in the book. How is that helping people, and how is it personally helping you?
So I think one of the things that I learned, and I think I always knew, but it's just how quickly we tend to move on from events. So something really tragic happens, and it can be part of the typical news cycle where there's a lot of coverage, and then all of a sudden it's gone, and then it's on to the next big story, the next big thing, and then those who are personally impacted feel like all of a sudden they're left behind. And in my case, it was trying to figure out how to make up for lost time at work, how to pay for medical bills that insurance wasn't covering, all these things that you don't typically think about. And anniversary after anniversary happens, and when I was presented with the opportunity to contribute to this book, it felt like finally I was getting to use my voice for good. And I know I have done that over the years, but here is something physical in print that can then be handed to therapists, police officers, first responders, people who want to have a better understanding of what it's like for someone to go through this event, and then the invisible wounds that can be left behind for years to come.
And you talk about those invisible wounds. So many other people had invisible wounds and have those in different shootings and different situations across the country and the world right now. What about other contributors that put forth their emotions and feelings to get this out there?
There are 19 other contributors to this book, and there's a different chapter on each type of gun violence. So there's home invasion, there's domestic violence, mass shooting, and everyone's story is different. My story is different from the other 20,000 concert goers who were there. And yet, in a way, they're all similar in that the pain never goes away and time does not heal all wounds. So I think in a way it was comforting to know that there sadly are other people feeling this way, and I'm just really grateful for the opportunity that so many people were able to share their personal stories.
This is such an important story to continue to keep the conversation going. So we know it's a difficult story, even though it's been years past. It sticks with you and you have scars there. So Emily Cantrell, thank you so much for being with us today, and we wish you much happiness and be safe in the years to come.
Thank you so much.